Hi, hello. My name is Danny Neifert, and I am the creator of Skin Harmonics, the very first Medi-Holistic skin resurfacing method with a dedicated skincare line. And today I want to talk about this whole trendy thing called glass skin. So, so I've had a lot of clients write in and call me up just to talk about this, and I have a lot to say about it. So there's several things I can really appreciate about this glass skin goal. But first, let's kind of just dive into what it is. Like I did numerous searches trying to make sure that I had it right. And what I kept coming up with over and over again is that this, what I'm, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but what I think I know is true based on a lot of Google searching is that this is a Korean beauty thing. And this is skin that is poreless, translucent, dewy, but not greasy skin. So, like, that's the definition that I came up with when I looked into this. And there's just so much I want to say about this. First off, I mean, it's all skin is beautiful, and it totally makes sense that this is coming from Korea because in Korea, everybody there genetically does have small pores, and genetically they all have low pigmented skin to try to achieve this translucent effect. So like this makes perfect sense that this is coming, specifically from there. And but I also want to, and it's beautiful. And of course the hydrated dewy thing, like I'm absolutely on board with. And having overly greasy skin, like, yeah, I mean, that's not fun. To have an ineffective moisturizer that is essentially just greasy but not very hydrating overall. So these are all things that I'm like, can totally get on board about. But what I want to talk about in regards to this is that what we need to remember is that our pores are genetic, basically. So like our pore size has everything to do with our genetics, or like 90% to do with our genetics. Now, we can dehydrate and shrivel our pores and shrink them in a dysfunctional way and therefore clog our skin where it becomes super problematic with getting congestion underneath, which, by the way, will wreck glass skin. I think there's also this goal with all skin that it's smooth and that maybe not glass. If you have genetically larger pores, like you're just never going to have glass skin. You're going to have like a very smooth texture that's also very beautiful. I think the difference between glass and smooth is pore size, but also speaking to texture that is not problematic. That there's not congestion in and under and around the pores, causing like all sorts of weird lumps and bumps, if you will. Which happens with skin that is chronically dehydrated. So, but it's just really important to understand that we can hydrate our pores, we can keep them clear, but ultimately it's genetic, what size they are. And so using pore minimizing products will sabotage pore health. So anyways, I wanted to talk about that right off the bat. And then also this aim for this translucent quality, which only works for people that are fair skinned. So darker skin tones will just never be able to achieve, a translucent effect. And that's okay. There is like a dysfunctional translucent effect, which I don't think this is what the glass skin is going for. But if you're fair and you get too many chemical peels or too many laser sessions or too many microdermabrasion sessions, what happens is that this causes dermal thinning. And you see this a lot in America, where conventional, skincare is like the hero here, where there's a lot of light skinned people that have undergone just too many trauma based procedures. And this skin, especially as we hit menopause, and us women, we're born with a thinner dermis than men. And then when we reduce the size prematurely with too many trauma procedures, we end up with translucent skin. There's this paper-like, very fragile, thin quality that this skin can take on, that is like not what we want to go for, because it's it's basically this progression of aging and this unnatural thinning of our dermal layer that causes this like weird translucent effect, mostly for older ladies that have had too many procedures. So that's, I want to speak to this like translucent quality, where it can be achieved naturally if you have lighter pigmented skin. But if you do have lighter pigmented skin and you get too many procedures, like this is like a not so good way to have, this translucent quality. And then also, speaking about exfoliation, because that's one of the main ways, like I read that there's like 13 steps to getting glass skin, and the exfoliation was like a really big part of that. And I also want to mention that too much exfoliation, chronic exfoliation, excessively and overly, I've watched this do this to any skin type, no matter what genetic size you were born with. The skin, the pores get over scrubbed, and they almost invert in a certain way that's not natural and not healthy. It doesn't contribute to how we're supposed to make oil. The oil comes out of pores that are hydrated and open and clear. It creates this congestion that starts happening, which is like the opposite of smooth or glass skin. So enzyme exfoliation is something that I'm a huge fan of, and I sell a very unique product that exfoliates and hydrates at the same time, which is very much worth it. So I want to speak to just how, this over exfoliation mania is like something that is somehow supposed to help us get glass skin. So I wanted to speak to that. And then this dewy versus greasy look. Like for sure, we want our skin to be able to hold on to water, to be saturated with water. And then we only get this dewy, plumped, fluffy, fresh-faced look when we do have some type of lipid-rich moisturizer on top of the hydration that we've put into our skin. And so I have spent a lot of time making moisturizers over the last 20 plus years that specifically do this thing where they hydrate by being dense enough to trap water in our skin, but they're not excessively oily the way that if you were just to grab coconut oil or olive oil or apricot kernel oil and put that on your skin. Those oils are actually very thin. They're not effective at trapping water in, and they leave you just like a complete oil slick, like complete and utter oil slick, which is like, that's like, 10 steps past dewy. So I want to, talk about all of this. And then, I guess the biggest thing is like, we just have to embrace our skin no matter what our genetic makeup is, and find ways to make it healthy, like truly, truly healthy. And this is completely doable with what we know about skin now. And this is like what I specialize in. And we don't need 15 or 14 or 13 or 12 steps. I found multiple posts about these really, really complicated layering systems to achieve glass skin. And I'm going to just tell you guys the basics, the no nonsense way to get glass skin, like superb glass skin without sacrificing anything. And that is to do minimal cleansing, to do an enzyme exfoliation, to do a very generous amount of a hydrating mist, and to do a very generous amount of a hydrating and nutritive serum. A nutritive serum has something in it called dermal nutrients, and this is something that builds glow like crazy. Like trauma builds terror and like this, shine into our skin that's trauma based and it's not real health. But when our skin has access to dermal nutrients and in a daily dose with a hydrating and nutritive combo serum, our skin gets like this really, really ridiculous glow happening that we don't have to beat our skin to get. So that's how you get that deep luminosity. And then you take a moisturizer that is dense enough, not oil, moisturizer like a densified shea or cocoa butter. I sell several of those. I also sell a carnivore moisturizer now that has a unique and special ability to saturate our skin with a lot of water and leave a really lovely residue that's none of my moisturizers have that excess grease thing, but they all do leave that residue that is so necessary for dewy and plump and fresh faced look. So that's that layer. Okay, so we have the hydrating mist. I'm sorry, back it up. Minimal cleansing. We have the enzyme pack. Remove that. Do the hydrating mist, the hydrating and nutritive serum, a lipid-rich moisturizer. All of this is super generous amounts. And then I want you guys to all check out, I don't sell makeup. I want you to check out a company called Vapor Organics. They've been in business for, I don't know, more than 15, 20 years. I've known about them for maybe 20. Beautiful, beautiful natural makeup company. They don't even know I'm doing this video and ending this video with their recommendation. I'm not an affiliate with them. I found out about them years ago through some mutual friends and mutual clients, and they have created like gorgeous makeup, but they also have some really, really beautiful skin primers that you can lay on top of a good moisturizer and feel like your skin is getting that like extra layer of shine and luminosity and smoothing out minor skin imperfections. So just check out Vapor Organics, and yeah, just know that you don't have to do an 11 or 13 or 15 steps to get this glass skin, and know that if you weren't born with glass skin, that's totally more than okay. All right, I will see you guys next time.